Thank you, Mark, and a big hello from London. Recently, with the summer doldrums in the Northern Hemisphere, markets and weekly technical patterns have been dull and few in between. Not so this past week. We have a load of weekly technical patterns to go through, as well as the monthly patterns for August. That is why, unlike my usual categorization by product, and because of the quantity involved, I will instead look at them from the point of least interesting to most interesting, in my opinion, of course. I'll start with some of those that have not had any follow-on in the direction of the weekly key reversals and actively had moves against the weekly pattern, followed by those that have had no real move at all and gone sideways instead. Now, please note, this is a snapshot, as we are only into the third session of trading for most of these since they've happened, since their creation. And in some cases, such as the US markets, we only have one session of trading due to the Labor Day holiday. So with contrary movements this week to the weekly patterns of last week, we have the Chinese A50 stock index and, importantly, the E-mini S&P futures. This last one had countered weekly key reversal up we saw last week so effectively on just its first 1 day's worth of trading that we are already set to make a possible and very strong immediate countering weekly key reversal down. Should prices close on Friday night under 52, 52.5, then we'd be on. Anything in between 52, 52.5 and 56.65, and we'll have a lesser outside week, and anything over 56.65, that would be a compound weekly key reversal up. So you can see very interesting times here. The next series of weekly patterns are ones that have had no real movement, effectively going sideways. They are US dollar against the Polish zloty, US dollar against the Moroccan dirham, US dollar Nigerian naira 1 month NDF, and EEX butter futures. The following ones are weekly key reversals that have had limited follow-on movements in the direction of the weekly key reversal. They are weekly key reversals down in euro against Romanian lei and the sugar white premium. The same applies to weekly key reversals up in euro against the Polish zloty and the GameStop stock of the US. The next series of markets have had active follow-on movements this week, following last week's patterns. They are weekly key reversals down in spot silver, NYMEX heating oil futures, ICE gas oil futures in London, spot platinum, and AMC stock of the United States. We also have active follow-on moves higher this week to last week's weekly key reversals up in Chicago soybean meal futures, Chicago corn futures, as well as Kansas City wheat futures. Okay, so that covers the weekly patterns, and you can see my thoughts in greater depth in my daily and weekly video commentaries during this week, as well as last week. I now move on to the monthly key reversals seen at the end of August and the immediate responses to them. Now please note, monthly patterns are longer term patterns, and just a few days into September may not adequately convey the full picture of what is going on, as by their definition these are longer term patterns. So I will deliver these monthly technical patterns the same way I did for the weekly ones, by the ones that have had an immediate contrary action over the last few days compared to the monthly pattern. We had monthly key reversals up last month in German DAX futures, UK FTSE futures, the Aussie dollar against the US dollar, the Kiwi dollar against the US dollar Russian ruble, the Dow Jones stock index, and the London coffee futures. All of them have had active movements this month against the monthly key reversals up seen in August. Now for the monthly key reversals down. We had a monthly key reversal down in US dollar Canadian dollar, and this one is interesting as it was an immediate countering monthly key reversal down in August, countering the monthly key reversal up seen in July. It may have been interesting, but it has had a contrary move this time, moving higher this week. We also had a monthly key reversal down in the US dollar Chinese yuan 1 month NDF, coming after a lesser outside month in July. This has also seen a contrary move higher since the start of this month. Finally, we had a monthly key reversal down in US dollar against the South African rand, and this likewise has a countering move higher so far this month. I'll now move on to one that at best has had a sideways movement after a monthly key reversal in August. Thus, we had a monthly key reversal down in US dollar against the Hong Kong dollar. And since then, well, prices have neither really tried lower nor higher. I suppose I could also add the monthly key reversal down in August seen in the Chinese Shinex stock index, but in truth, though it has eased off lower in September, the action has been limited. Finally, we have an outstanding example of a monthly key reversal up in New York orange juice futures. This has seen a good follow-on higher yesterday, making a new all-time high close. As always, I'm happy to answer any direct questions with anyone who's interested, and with that I'll finish this section from London, and I hope that you found these comments useful.
Thank you for listening. This weekly broadcast gives the essential market patterns and consequences. Please be aware of the risk disclaimer posted both at the front and at the back of this broadcast. Copyright is Eddie Topic and ADM Investor Service International Limited. And here comes the final important bit.